Welcome to Cliffhangers and Cocktails podcast with
Amy Sissel, moi.
and Shéa McLeod. Mwah. USA Today bestselling authors of paranormal women's fiction, among other things. This podcast is brought to you, as always, by the Caftan Coven.
Welcome to our first mini pod of 2026, where we will discuss a single topic related to the craft, whether it's craft cocktails, witchcraft, or writing craft. Today's topic is cocktail craft. And not only is it cocktail craft, it is the first episode of a new series called The Witch's Liquor Cabinet. And I'm so excited about this. You may not know this about me and Shéa, but we do like liquor and witches.
I mean, we do. And I know this is something we've kept very on the down low, and most people don't know anything about it as she takes a sip of her liquor. But yes,
It could be water.
We
don't know. It's very clear.
It's clear, very clear. But yeah, we're going to step out of the liquor cabinet here, or the liquor closet, as the case may be, and share with you. I just thought it would be really fun to do. I was taking a cocktail class the other day. I take regular cocktail classes from my
She's cool.
Yeah, which is, from a very cool lady called Tammy Coxon. And I'll put links to her classes because they're amazing and they're all online. And I just thought, that would be really fun to do, sort of going through each part of making a cocktail to explain how each ingredient, each part of the cocktail affects your magic spell when you're making a cocktail. So I thought that'd kind of be fun to do. So each mini pod is going to cover one part of a cocktail. And today that is the base spirit. So basically, something that often exactly.
Listen, it's like 8 o'clock at night while we're recording this in Portugal, and I'm a little loopier than Shéa. I've had a sip of my drink, so it's not that kind of loopy, but will be good. I'll be good. I'll be good.
It's only noon here, and I will be day drinking for the benefit of science and witchcraft,
and all
of you out there in the listening world. Yeah, I'm a little punchy because I don't know, I don't think I slept very well or something, and I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so maybe I should have done a coffee cocktail today, but onward. So one of the parts of the cocktail, the absolute basic part of the cocktail, is often kind of overlooked when you think about cocktails. It's just like, oh yeah, this is the spirit that I like, so I'm just going to go with this. But the magic of a cocktail starts with that base spirit. It's like literally the foundation. Like without it, you're just kind of higgledy-piggledy. You need that base to anchor it. And so, it starts with, intention, as we know, is everything, is the most important ingredient. But the base spirit anchors that intention. So before you even start, you need to build the spell with the base. So if you understand what energy that base spirit is carrying, you can get all sorts of making stuff with your heart, as Amy likes to do.
As we all know at this point, that's how I make a lot of stuff, is with my heart.
Exactly. So if you've ever felt like, you've had a cocktail and it's really light and airy and you're like, I feel like I'm on a beach. But then another one feels kind of dark and warm and like, oh, I want to cozy up by the fire. The biggest likelihood of that feeling is on the base spirit. It's not the only thing, but it's likely down to that base spirit. because, a vodka drink, for instance, is a very light drink. And so you're probably not going to be like, oh, I want to cuddle this vodka and vodka
Words.
tonic by the fire. Words, yeah. No, you're probably going to be like, I want to take this gin and tonic out by my pool. So that's one of the
I
big,
don't have a pool, and that's
well,
mean.
okay, so out on my porch overlooking the city of Porto.
Okay.
I mean, same thing, really. It's practically a pool. Um,
It,
because
it mm,
it's
that's
a
a different discussion, but
it's
it's
not a
not the
pool.
same thing at
Okay.
all. I hope you know the difference between
A
a
pool in
balcony.
Porto. A balcony and a pool.
Not the same. Not the same.
But you can have the same vibe.
Okay, yes, vibes.
Vibes. It's all about the vibes. So, because when we're doing spellcraft with cocktails, it isn't just about the base spirit isn't just about the alcohol. It's about, the energy of the alcohol, the personality of the alcohol. So let's start with the biggest question that must be on all of your minds. What is a base spirit? Do you know,
Oh,
Amy?
okay. I didn't know what the question was.
Oh.
I know the answer. I know
Okay,
it.
tell me.
The base spirit is the primary liquor that you
Yeah,
put into a drink.
yeah.
And it is usually most of the volume of the drink, generally speaking. So it just provides that first burst of energy. So just as a thorough explanation, this includes things like gin,
Hmm. Also gin
um,
and more gin.
gin. No, just gin and vodka,
Hmm.
whiskey, tequila, rum,
Yeah,
um, things such as that.
yeah. Brandy or I was trying to think of like in some cases like cognac or those kinds of things. Yes. Um,
When you can even do wine cocktails, like port
yeah,
cocktails are a very big deal
yeah.
here. So port would be
Uh-huh.
the base spirit in a lot of those port cocktails.
Right. And we actually are, I think I have a episode set up for that because technically speaking, wine and port aren't spirits, quote unquote, but they do sometimes act as the base and they carry a very specific type of energy. So we're going to talk about that because all and the other thing is sometimes like champagne will actually be the base spirit, even if it might also contain gin or something, like as in at French 75, it's actually the champagne itself that is more of the base than the gin because it's the bigger
Champagne is
volume.
the base of my spirit,
Yes. And
always. My
always
spirit is like 78% champagne.
and the rest is gin, pretty
No,
much.
no. There's coffee
Oh, right.
and
Mustn't forget coffee.
other wines.
Other wine. Yeah, okay. Yes, but 78% is an accurate number. I've seen her spirit and I can confirm. Um,
It should probably be 75% because of the French 75 being my absolute favorite
I
cocktail.
mean,
So
yeah, that would be,
that would make more sense.
yes, that would make a lot of sense. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm
So
glad we got that established. Episode over.
we're done. That's it. So the base is the anchor for your intention, and it determines what kind of energy the cocktail spell, the working carries, and how it makes you feel when you drink it. So the reason it there's three big reasons that the base spirit is so important in magical cocktail work. First, as I said, they established sort of the base energy of the spirit. So each spirit contains cultural, historical, elemental, and symbolic meanings that sort of align naturally with certain intentions. Like, for instance, whiskey is a very like it's a sort of Scottish, Irish, English, that area. Bourbon itself is purely American. All the culture of bourbon comes from America. You cannot make real bourbon outside of the US. It's like you can't say it's champagne unless it comes from Champagne, France, right?
That is
Technically.
correct.
Otherwise, it's just sparkling wine. And bourbon is the same. It's technically you can't call it bourbon unless it comes from the United States.
Like
Um,
Scotch.
yeah, Scotch has to
There's a lot
come.
of things like
Yeah.
that.
So, but whiskey, Scotch, bourbon all carry a very sort of carry a deep history, carry a deep connection to the roots and the ancestors of, you know, a certain people, like, and then, but like rum comes from the Caribbean, and it would have been used in a lot of those rituals, and that ancestry. So every base spirit has that sort of, I mean, humans have been making alcohol pretty much since the first berry fell off the vine and rotted or whatever. They were like, oh hey, this is fun. So all of that is aligned, is there to align, and if you can align your intention with that meaning and that depth of history and that connection, then it just adds oomph to the spell, because of course attention is the most important, but if you can match that up with the energy of the spirit itself. And then second, it acts as a carrier for the rest of the ingredients. So alcohol is a solvent.
It's
Um,
a solution.
it's a solution. And physically, it will extract the flavor and the aroma from whatever you add to it. And energetically, it also extracts and carries the essence of whatever you add. So it's on a both physical and energetic level. It's extracting all of those good things from whatever you add to it, be it herbs or fruit or whatever. And then third, it connects us to tradition. So spirits have been used as different offerings and rites for celebrations, for ancestral practices for centuries. And so choosing a base spirit intentionally taps into all of that history, whether you're honoring your ancestors, marking an important moment, or crafting a spell of protection and abundance. You're tapping into that long line of ancestors, of that deep history. That may be why I really like bourbon a lot, because my ancestors came from the whiskey places. So, mm. um, so let's talk about the base spirits themselves. So, you are drinking, what do you say you're drinking? You're drinking a gin and tonic right
I am, yep, I'm having gin. And this is, so a lot of this may sound like something that you already know or felt, like confirmation of how you've already
now.
felt about maybe your favorite liquors. Um, but like, I feel like when I was reading through Shea's list, and I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's clear,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And if you'd had me guess some of these things, like if I had to do like when when you have like in school, like draw a line from this thing to
Mm-hmm.
where it matches, I think I could have gotten them right. But it's so fun to see this all kind of
Yeah.
written down with the research that Shea did to put this together. So, like the energy for gin is botanicals and protection. And we've
Mm-hmm.
drank a lot of gin on this show, so we've talked about gin and
Yeah.
gin and tonics
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
But gin is usually, well, gin is infused with a lot of different botanicals. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
more common ones that you might recognize are juniper, which, and there's plenty that aren't, which I think is important for Shea, who's allergic to
Mm-hmm.
juniper.
Yeah.
But there's other kinds of herbs and spices that are in it, coriander,
Yeah.
citrus, anise. And this is all very much earth energy because it comes
Mm-hmm.
from all of these botanicals. So we've got that
Absolutely.
connection to the earth, to purification, to healing and protection. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's why I drink so much gin. I need a lot of protection from the world around me. Um, and because of the difference in the botanical mixes, each gin is
hmm
a little bit different with its magical
Yeah.
fingerprint,
Yeah.
depending on the blend. And gin is just really great for spell work that involves boundaries, cleansing, grounding, and nature-based intentions.
hmm
Um, but it doesn't just carry that magic, it adds like an oomph,
Yeah.
as
Yes.
Shea put it.
Yep.
Um,
An oomph.
oomph. So it is something that doesn't pair well with every mixer, and that's something we
Right.
can talk a little bit more about.
hmm
I mean, it's a very versatile liquor,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, even when it sounds like it should be good together, it doesn't always because
Right.
it really, there are things that it shouldn't be oomping,
Yeah.
basically, I think.
Exactly. And it also, I think, depends on like which gin. Like one gin will not pair with something, while another gin might, depending again on which botanicals. And so it feels like it should, like they all should just work the same, but they don't
Well,
very
so
much.
at my favorite cocktail bar here in Porto, the owner and bartender of the cocktail bar and he is an alchemist, y'all. Like I'm cozying up to him. I'm gonna get him to come talk about cocktail alchemy at some point on our
That would be
show.
awesome.
But he's got a bunch of different kinds of gin. A lot of them are local Porto gins, and then of course
Uh-huh.
stuff from everywhere.
Uh-huh.
But I'll be like, I want a gin and tonic, and he will make me a gin and tonic. And so we've tried out different gins and different tonics, and
hmm
it's really fun. And last time I was there, he made me martinis, which was awesome.
Ooh.
I love a
I know
martini. But
you
it's just
showed me those
really
pictures.
interesting
Yeah.
how they all taste different and react different and
hmm
take different like garnishes
hmm
because they're not all the same. And he is just got that magic touch to know
hmm
what goes with what. And I think it's really interesting, like Shea said, that
hmm
not everything is going to fit together the
Yeah.
same way, even though
Yeah.
you have gin and you have tonic. They don't all fit together.
Exactly. And if you don't know what your gin has energetically, other than juniper, um, you can usually find out, look up the website, and sometimes they'll list at least some of the main ingredients they use. And so you can then kind of look up the magical correspondences and see where your gin falls in that. But overall, yeah, gin is going to be that sort of protection energy. But
Well,
unlike,
I'm drinking Japanese gin
oh, interesting.
today with my tonic, and um, I was going to tell you what the botanicals are, but I'm not finding it,
Okay.
which is just kind of a bummer.
Hmm.
I don't know.
That's too bad. So,
It
I
says
should say,
they're high quality but exclusively Japanese and
hmm,
not as well understood by those of us who aren't.
okay.
That's what it says. It's a weird translation on this website.
So we don't know what Japanese gin has in it, but some
6 unique Japanese botanicals.
interesting. I would be so curious to know what they are. But most of, like, I know if you go on to like my favorite gin is Botanist. And if you
Hmm.
go on their website, they will list some of the ingredients that they use. And I think some of the other ones will as well. But vodka is like, actually, gin seems like it would be like a universal thing, but it's actually vodka that's much more universal. The biggest difference you'll get with vodka energy and flavor is whether it's a potato vodka or a grain vodka. And I actually prefer a grain vodka. I get a vodka that actually is made in the Netherlands, of all places. Um, and it's frankly delicious. But overall, vodka is basically, it's like a blank canvas for spells. So if you have a spell you want to do and you don't know which would be the best space spirit for it, use vodka. Vodka goes with pretty much anything. And it goes with pretty much any spell. So so a lot of people, think of vodka as just kind of boring and basic, but honestly, magically speaking, it is one of the most versatile magic tools you can work with because of that blank canvas. Um, that its neutrality. It doesn't impose like a strong personality of its own, generally speaking, which makes it ideal in spells for purification, clarity, new beginnings, and in highly customized spells that where you don't want it clashing with other ingredients. So if you have this really specific spell and you just cannot find any base spirit that you feel works with it, go for vodka. And elementally, vodka aligns most strongly with air, though it can adapt to nearly every elemental intention depending on what you infuse it with. So if you want fruits or your herbs or fruits or your botanicals to speak loudly, vodka is the one that lets them shine. One of my favorite drinks is, and I am an air sign, so that might also have something to do with it, but is like a cleansing lemon drop, and I actually add limoncello to sort of boost the lemony
Alcohol?
flavor. Yeah,
Oh.
except the alcohol, yes, and the lemony flavor. Um, and it's just one of my favorite drinks. And so pretty much all of the energy is coming from the lemon. And so it's really just letting that lemon shine. And I just love it. And then sometimes I'll add a botanical to it, like bay leaves or something like that, to add another
Bay
level.
leaves and lemon and basil and lemon go so well
They
together.
really do. Yeah. And if you're going bay leaf, do I just throw a bay leaf into the cocktail? Well, I mean, you can technically do that, but you're not going to really get any flavor from it. I usually make a simple syrup and throw bay leaf in when it's still hot. And then that gives it just the lightest touch of an herbal essence to it. But it's
Mhm.
infused into the simple syrup, that energy.
And that's a
Um,
good way to infuse that energy into cocktails. And I know
mhm.
we're going to talk more about this on a future episode,
Yeah.
but just have like the way a lot of herbs like that really need to be heated and to have
Hmm.
that flavor and that essence come out. So putting it into a simple
Yes.
syrup is a great way to do
Yeah,
that. But that's a
absolutely. That's a
future
that's
episode.
for the future. Yes, that's for the future. So, rum is the energy of rum is abundance and emotional flow. And I just love that. Rum comes from sugar cane, and of course, which is sweet. We get all that sweetness from, that's where we get sugar from and molasses and all that good stuff. And that sweetness matters when it comes to spell work. So magically, rum is associated with abundance, love, success, joy, and emotional warmth. And it aligns strongly with the water element, which is something I didn't know, making it ideal for spells involving relationships, intuition, pleasure, and emotional healing. And light rums, like a white rum, will be more light and bright and uplifting, and the darker rums will bring depth. It'll bring grounding. If you're doing like a grounding spell or a protection spell, you probably want to use the dark rum. And ancestral connection, and are especially powerful for offerings or legacy work. Now, I personally would not use rum for legacy work and offerings and ancestral rites because that is not my background.
Right.
Uh,
I was going to say that doesn't feel like I would have that kind of connection
right.
through the rum. That's I feel like that'd really be more of a spirit that would have its origins maybe in Northern or Western Europe for me.
Yeah. Yes. So like for me, it would be whiskey, um, gin,
I'd probably
those.
do whiskey too,
Yeah,
but
whiskey for me would be probably my most go-to for ancestral rites. Um, and and that connection. And that's my personal preference. Um, I feel that I should embrace when it comes to the ancestral type and legacy workings. I feel like that whatever I'm using should tie to where I'm from and where my ancestors are from. Um, uh,
agreed,
yeah.
100%.
So, but I use rum a lot in abundance work and emotional work and that sort of thing. And it works really well. And rum
Ooh.
doesn't
Nope,
ooh
nothing. Go ahead.
oh okay.
Go
Rum doesn't rush. Rum carries with it that energy from I feel like it carries that sort of island energy where there's no rush. We're just moving, slow flow like molasses. We're just taking it easy. So rum spells aren't quick spells. They're longer, slower spells.
It really
Um,
feels like Portugal because we do Portugal time here.
yeah.
And I think that's very common in places that have ties to warmer climates,
Yeah.
is everything moves a little bit slower and a little bit. I know that like there's island time in the Caribbean,
Hmm.
and yeah, we run on Portugal time here, which means I don't know what that means. It means that whenever, let's
Yeah.
just go with it, kind of.
Just chill.
But
I mean, that's
yeah,
kind of part of the reason you're there because it's so much more less stress than it is here. Like, you have to be on time, everything's fast, and there's a certain level of stress that comes along with that. I mean, there's stress
yeah.
with I'm sure Portugal time till you get used to it.
I'm loving it because I don't have to be places
I
and
mean,
it's
that's true.
working.
Yeah, when you don't have
But
to be places, it's not so bad.
ooh,
So
can I talk about tequila?
yes, I was actually going to suggest you talk about tequila because I know you
Okay.
are our tequila specialist.
Well, that's a okay.
I mean, compared to me,
Yes.
between the two
Compared
of
to you,
us,
yes.
yes.
Okay, between the two of us, sure. I really like tequila. I don't like mezcal, which is the other thing that I'm going to talk about here.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
we
I've had
liked.
mezcal. So
It's just not
it's
my thing.
smoky though, right? And I don't like
Yeah, and I
smoky.
don't like smoky stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but this is not going to surprise anybody who's had tequila. The tequila is fire. Tequila and mezcal are fire, and
Yeah.
fire burns and transforms.
Hmm.
It's, you got your whole like the phoenix imagery. Feels very fitting, I think,
Hmm.
with tequila.
Yeah, for sure.
So tequila and mezcal are made from agave, baked or smoked before fermentation. And these spirits carry intensity, vitality, passion, transformative
Hmm.
power. And on like if you've ever been out drinking tequila in Southern California, you're feeling that intensity and that passion. Like
Yeah.
it's very intense liquor. And tequila is bright and assertive, and it's great for
Mm.
courage, which clearly
Mm.
confidence, decisive action. Mezcal is smokier, so it's deeper, it's more complex. It's ideal for shadow work. Again, it's not something I would use for shadow work because it's very much a Mexican spirit, a Central American spirit. It doesn't fit
Hmm.
with my ancestral practices, nor would it fit with what I have for my personal shadow work. But it is got that smoky, darker feel to
Hmm.
it. They aren't subtle spirits.
No,
They
it's
aren't.
not.
But if you mix tequila with and you make a margarita, then you
Hmm.
have that fire and that confidence, but you slow that down into island time. And
Hmm.
that's again future, but that's how a mixer can change things.
Yes,
I'm so
absolutely.
carried away. I love talking about this.
I know it's so
Anyway,
cool.
tequila, yay. These are not subtle. They're catalysts, and you should use
Yeah,
them with awareness
yeah,
and careful intent if you're imbuing any kind of magical spiritual intention.
right.
Oh,
Because
also, if you're just drinking tequila, be careful.
yeah, just be careful.
Be careful.
Drink all things responsibly and don't drive
Mhm, mhm,
or operate heavy
mhm.
machinery.
Or make life-changing decisions or text anyone after midnight.
Yeah, especially an ex. Uh, so now we're getting on to whiskey and brandy, wisdom
And
and protection.
this is your region
Absolutely.
here.
So something super cool I learned about brandy at one of the classes, and I totally didn't know this, but literally brandy was like the first spirit that was made here in the United States before it became even the United States, like way back. And because a lot of the people that came here were from areas where brandy was initially where brandy was made, but They made it with apples, they made it with pears, and they're still the oldest, still in the or yeah, still in the country, is still being made today, still making brandy today. It's called Applejack, and it's literally a brandy that's made with apples. It's not flavored apple. It's made with apples. So it carries all that energy of the apple. And it dates back to the 1700s,
That's
this
cool.
company.
Where is it?
Yeah. It's back east. So it was the predominant, I don't remember, I want to say New York, but that could be totally wrong. Um, it's Brandy was the predominant alcohol here. And the reason bourbon took over had to do with like prohibition and things like that. So it nearly, yes.
New Jersey
New Jersey, there we go. I knew it was a new
since
something.
1698.
1698. Okay, I thought it was in early 1700s, but yeah. I think it's maybe the alcohol, the specific recipe that I bought was like from the 1700s. They're 1700 and something. But yes, so it's like literally the oldest still in the United States, or like still business, whatever you call it. Distillery. That's the word I'm looking for. Uh,
And
and
I could have told
when
you that because that's what I Googled, was distillery. But
still
I
work.
mean, distillery still,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
same root word, probably.
And then we started making bourbon, and then came the prohibition, and all of the stills, like the distilleries for brandy, were on the East Coast. And so nearly all of them were shut down. I think there was two that managed to keep in business by making medicinal whatever. But bourbon was more, it was in Kentucky, it was in Tennessee, it was, and some were able to keep going through various means, shall we say, and bourbon ended up becoming the predominant American drink. But we still have our old brandy. So I just kind of love that bit of history. So these are both aged spirits, whiskey and brandy. And whiskey, all bourbons are whiskey, not all whiskeys are bourbon. Ditto with Scotch. All Scotch are whiskeys, not all whiskeys are Scotch. Um, so I'm talking the whiskey, the overall, and brandy. They take time and patience, and they carry the energy of the wood that they aged in, because they sit in these wood barrels for sometimes months, sometimes years, and they just kind of soak in all of that wood energy. And it makes them symbols of wisdom, stability, protection, and ancestral strength. Again, there's that ancestral. And this for me is my ancestral, what I would use for ancestral rites, what I would use for shadow work, because it goes back deep to my roots.
I'd probably have to use lutefisk.
Excuse me, I need some fish so I can do my shadow work. Um, Actually, probably like aquavit or something. There's something they have a similar to, yeah, not my bag, but
I
but
mean, aquavit is a lovely thing that you can find in many Scandinavian countries, and it's probably
absolutely, it's
delicious.
um, I think it's a taste. I think it has anise in it, and I'm
It's
not a
anise. I don't like anise
yeah,
flavor very
and I
much,
don't
so
either.
that's
So um, they align strongly with fire, although the brandy and wine-based spirits also carry grounding earth energy as well. They're ideal for protection spells, stability workings, honoring elders, or creating something meant to last. So if you're wanting to do, uh, a protection spell over your family, over your business, or something like that, or if you want an abundance spell, but you want it to last a long time, this is a great base to use. And you would bring in the abundance through other ingredients. Um, they are they don't just, these are enduring spirits. They don't just, it's not just a quick burn and gone. It's something that endures. So those are
well,
our, sorry, yes.
Can I interject? Okay,
Yes, please.
well, I want to say that I'm not recommending that anyone go out there and start doing shots of all these different liquors we just talked about. But if you've ever like sipped tequila and you
Hmm.
you know it's fire because you feel that
Hmm.
fire going down. It's quickly there and it's just like that burst of powerful flames.
Hmm.
And then if you do the same with whiskey, it's that you get that heat, you get that
Yeah, you
fire,
get the
but the
burn.
whiskey burns longer.
Yeah.
And it feels like not that that's good or bad. Like
No,
they
it just
are. It just
is.
is.
Yeah.
But you can taste the difference in just like the
Hmm.
fire and the earth because it burns
Right.
longer. It has like that earth connection
Hmm.
through the wood of the barrels. Not
Yeah.
that tequila doesn't have that, but if you start to sip your base spirits responsibly and slowly without mixers, without anything else in
Hmm.
them, you'll start to be able to sense some of
Hmm.
these connections and like
Yeah.
close your eyes and sip them and be like, oh, this is what it's making me feel.
Hmm.
And I did find out the gin is flowers and tea
Mm.
and sakura flowers, sakura leaves, green tea, refined green tea, pepper, and yuzu. And
Oh,
it's all
interesting.
seasons. There's like spring flowers and spring leaves,
Uh-huh.
summer teas, autumn peppers that are ripen in autumn, and then
Uh-huh.
yuzu from winter, yuzu pill.
Oh, that's interesting. So there's no gin in it.
No, I mean that's the gin. That's the botanicals in
I
the
mean,
gin.
sorry, no
No
juniper is what,
juniper.
yeah.
Right. There's this
Interesting.
sanshu pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's like,
Very
okay, the
interesting.
it's really a great description
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
gin on the website. So
Yeah.
recommend checking out the Roku.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I've been wanting to try the Roku gin.
They have
Um,
three different varieties. And I only have the basic one, I guess.
yeah. Okay. So
But
yeah,
now I'm gonna go get more.
these are not
Okay,
the
sorry.
only bases. I mean, you can use soju as a base. It works somewhat similar to vodka. You can use sake. You can use, I mean, there's just, aquavit. There's so many different bases, but these are kind of the most common and the most basic. So the question then is, how do you choose the right base spirit for your spell? How do you start? And so you want to ask yourself, there's basically three questions you should ask yourself. First is, what is my intention with this spell? The second is, what element supports it? And finally, do I need clarity, warmth, grounding, or momentum? So like if you were like, well, my intention is I want to bring abundance into my life. And but I want it to be, but I feel stuck and I need the momentum. I want that that would inform which one you picked rather than if, oh, I want to be, I'm in a good place, I want to be grounded in it, I want more of this. That would be a different base spirit. So everything else, it sets the base spirit sets the direction, and everything else, the herbs, the garnish, the words that you speak, follow that choice. And so you just think of it as the spell's foundation. This is what you're going to build your spell on. Um, and as to which brands, like, oh, I like this brand, or I only have enough to buy this level, that you do you, boo. Use what you like. It's whatever your budget can afford and your taste buds like, and what speaks to you. You should enjoy drinking your spell as much as you do casting it.
I
So,
think that's key. And that's
yes.
really for everything when we talk about anything, it's
Mm-hmm.
whether it's writing or cocktails or magic, it very
Mm-hmm.
much is what works for you. We have
Absolutely.
guidelines and advice, but you are the one consuming the spirit, you're the one casting the magic, you're one writing the words or reading the
Hmm.
words. But
Absolutely.
I
So
know
if
when
you,
I didn't just pick the gin and tonic because
hmm
I love gin and tonic.
mm,
I really was very, very careful about my intentions with this since that's what we were doing. And I
hmm
need protection and grounding, which is why I have a lot of liquor here. It's not
yeah,
like I could only pick gin.
yeah.
So I did go with gin because of the protection and the grounding, which is what I
hmm
need.
And I'm going to show you now a couple of different cocktails, which we're going to put the recipes. They're super simple, but we're going to put the recipes into the show notes. But these are literally the kinds of very simple cocktails that you can make with your heart and use in your spellcraft, practice your spellcraft, and it will show you the difference that the base spirit can make, changing nothing else, just the base spirit, how that can change your spell, the actual uh, intention of your spell. So let's get to that. Okay, so the first we're going to do, these are two pretty classic, very easy cocktails. The both of them I'm going to use ginger ale as a mixer. And so the energy of ginger here is love, protection, prosperity, healing, personal power, and passion. Used and it's best used in spells for attraction, money, purification, and if you want to speed up a spell, you want it to hurry along faster. Um, working with it works with the solar plexus and root chakras for vitality, bringing warmth and boosting spiritual energy. So this is going to be the same. You can kind of pick and choose what energy that you were gonna work with, but so the mixer is going to be the same. The first thing I'm going to do is the first one is called a classic highball, and this is made with bourbon. So it's just a super simple recipe here. I've got my glass here. It actually calls for a highball glass. I'm using a rocks glass because I do what I want. We're going to have 2 ounces of bourbon or other whiskey. You could even use scotch if you wanted to, but I am not
Well,
a.
that was a face.
I've discovered I don't like scotch. For all my Scottish blood, that is not a thing that I like. Um, yeah, but it's going to be 2 ounces. So we're going to do bourbon for this one. There we go. So we've got bourbon, lovely little bourbon. And then the other one is called a ginger snap. And so instead of bourbon, we're going to be doing rum. Now I'm using a spiced rum just because that's what I have on hand at the moment. And
Also,
it's the
I
same.
think it'll taste better with the spiced.
I do think, yeah, I do think it, and it's going to add that extra kick. So we're going to do the spiced rum there. And so it's also a lovely amber color there. About the same amount there. So 2 ounce and a half, 2 ounces, whatever floats your boat. And then we're just going to take ginger ale, and you can use any kind of ginger ale. Doesn't really matter as long as it has real ginger in it.
Do you
Um,
think ginger beer would work as well, or is that not a substitution you would recommend?
no, that's absolutely. In fact, a lot of times I'll drink ginger beer because I actually really like ginger beer. It's got a stronger ginger flavor. And some of the ginger beers will have additional spices in them. Like there's one, I think it's I want to say it's Q, but I'm not sure. And it has like chili pepper in it. So it adds like a little bit of heat, which is
My
gonna
upstairs neighbors are making ginger beer right
ooh,
now, so I'm very
that would
excited to
I bet
try.
I bet homemade ginger beer is gonna taste amazing. Oh, yum. So here we got our and now it says for you're going to put the glass in your the ice in your glass, pour in 2 ounces of the base, and then pour ginger ale into the glass. And so here we go. They basically look the same here, but they're
They
not.
do.
So this one is bourbon. Mm. Mm. And I love it. It's got that sweetness and that spiciness from the ginger ale, and then it's got that sort of caramely bourbon, hanging around, and it's very warming and very, yeah, you can feel the slow burn, but very, very slow and low. Now you got the rum here. Mm. Ooh, that is that is a brighter, has almost a little bit of a citrus flavor to it, even though there's no citrus in it whatsoever. And it definitely has sort of a brighter vibe to it, but it's still rich. So Bourbon Energy, bourbon is ideal for protection spells and stability workings. Honoring elders or
That's what I should
creating,
have been drinking, I guess.
I guess, or creating something meant to last. So if you're getting together with a friend and creating a podcast, you should drink a classic highball together.
I don't like bourbon.
Well, we'd have to find you another alcohol, but this is what I'm saying. So like together, the classic highball is when you put them together, the ginger and the bourbon, it's perfect for inner and spiritual workings of healing, personal power, self-discovery, shadow work, if you happen to be drawn to that region, and protection. Also, money spells and other attraction spells. The bourbon stabilizes the spell, turning it from a short-term quick spell to something that lasts. So if you're doing an abundance money spell, this is the reason I say, oh, if you're starting a podcast with a friend, drink a highball, is because the bourbon or the whiskey, it makes it last. It makes, when you're drawing that abundance in, you're starting that project together, whatever the project is, it's going to draw in that abundance and make it last. That's what it's meant to do. Whereas rum energy is abundance, love, success, joy, emotional warmth, and making the ginger snap ideal for spells involving relationships, both personal and business, intuition in all areas, whether it be business, romance, whatever, emotional healing, and use it when you want to attract abundance like a business relationship, or you need intuition, like maybe for a writing decision, or protection from a loved one, for a loved one, not from a loved one, for a loved one, and yourself. Maybe it is. I don't know. And it's perfect for drinking with friends to call in joy, warmth, drink with colleagues to call in success and abundance in projects. Now, this is like, it's on island time, but it's quicker. Rum is a faster worker. And so that's going to be like, if you want to call in abundance and you want it faster, it's the rum. Go with the rum. So, if you have a shorter project, like maybe you're just doing an anthology with a bunch of people, the rum would be great because that's a short-term project. So that just shows you how two very different alcohols, base alcohols, with the very same ingredients, otherwise, do different things or do the same thing in a different way. So
That's very cool.
yes. So, and they're also both really, really tasty. So here's my final deep thoughts. Shall I share them with you?
Please do. I mean, I know what they are because you wrote them down,
Because I wrote them down.
but
Yeah.
nobody else knows.
So, cocktail spellcraft, like all things kitchen magic, is about intentional creation. Um, and when you choose your base spirit with care and intention, you're not just making, that's the point at which you're no longer just making a cocktail. You're shaping energy, you're honoring tradition, and you're crafting an experience that works on both a physical and magical level. So next time you're going to make a cocktail and you reach for a bottle, just take a pause, listen to your intuition, and choose wisely and with intent. And you will create a beautiful and delicious spell.
Shay is
Cheers.
out here double fisting for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube. It's great. I have my one tiny cocktail, and she's out here at noon,
At
double
noon,
fisted.
double fisting my
Um,
cocktails.
but if you have questions about cocktails, about cocktail magic, please feel free to drop them in the comments on YouTube. She's just going back and forth between her drinks, y'all. Drop them in the comments on YouTube, DM us on Insta, email us at cliffhangersandcocktails@gmail.com.
Yes.
Just however, we'll get back to you. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. And can't wait to share more about our cocktail magic.
Don't
and
forget to
all
smash
other
that
things.
like button as well.
Smash it real hard.
Smash it
Muddle
hard.
it.
Bang it.
Muddle
Muddle
the no, wait, that doesn't work.
Oh no. Muddle it. Here.
No.
This that doesn't look any better. I'm using a cocktail. I have a cocktail spoon that has a little muddler thing on the end. I also have a real muddler because this is ridiculous nonsense. But yeah. Muddled out
So
like
check
that.
our show notes for the recipes, for resources.
Yes.
And go over to Instagram to see pictures of our cocktails.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.